Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage PPA Chairman Kevin Hand.
Good morning everybody and welcome to Publishing Plus, the PPA Conference 2012. Now as somebody who has, hopefully with a pretty good view across the entire industry after those 30 plus years, I must say I relish days like today. For coming together under the umbrella of the PPA provides a rare but incredibly valuable opportunity for us all to take stock and to consider where we're going as an industry and put into context the rapid market changes affecting every single one of us. Because in recent years, publishing has been completely transformed. The business we operate in has been completely reshaped, driving us to innovate, mutate, and reinvent our products and routes to market. And we're doing it faster and at a more fundamental level than at any time before in our history. So where do we find ourselves in 2012? Well, it's certainly still about publishing, but it's clear that now it's about much more. Much, much more. Here today, it's about Publishing Plus. As a sector, we remain a major force in print. A staggering 3.3 million magazines are distributed in the UK every single day. But our brands are no longer defined by just ink on paper, and in the business sector that's long been the case. We are now wherever our audiences want us to be. We're on mobile, we're on social media, we're in data, and we are in live events. Perhaps most exciting of all, we're leading the charge on tablets, which in my view presents a golden opportunity for our sector to demonstrate its renowned world-class creativity. And so it's this new world of Publishing Plus and how it's impacted on our brands, our audiences and our commercial relationships that our impressive line of speakers will be tackling today. And Barry will tell you more about the day ahead in just a moment. Throughout all this change, however, the PPA's fundamental aims in 2012 remain broadly the same: to promote, protect and advise our industry, your industry. Our challenge, though, and the challenge for many of you here who make up the committees at the heart of the association's work, is to maintain the level of good work that we already do, but also to keep track of new developments, to provide leadership, to take action. So, for example, the input from the PPA that has contributed to the OFT's decision in March not to update its review of the newspaper and magazine distribution sector becomes no less important than it ever was. But now, there are additional issues, challenges and opportunities that we must address. For consumer publishers, one such example is how we measure the reach of our platforms among the ever-growing audiences across multiple platforms. And I'm pleased to say that there are very encouraging signs of progress here with both the ABC multi-platform certificate and the NRS Fusion project, two key developments that the PPA will continue to progress on your behalf. Another example is digital piracy. Now, it's troubled industries such as film and music in recent years, as Virgil Sharkey explained at last year's conference, and is now knocking firmly on the door of publishers. Incidents of unauthorised use of copyrighted material have increased amongst the PPA membership in the past year, and the loss in revenue to the industry has been estimated by the PPA at £33 million. That's why we are pleased to officially launch a piracy portal for PPA members, where they can now track infringements of their content and then issue takedown notices. This is a new service, and one that will grow in importance, but it's a service that sits at the core of the PPA's role in protecting publishers' intellectual property. And for more details on how to use this new service, please simply visit the PPA website, details of which are on the screen. Equally core to the PPA, of course, is our role to promote this fantastic industry. There's no question that we have a great story to tell, but we've not always been the best at telling it to the various groups of people who really need to hear it. I'm glad to say that this too is changing. Here are just some of the brief examples. In 2012, we have already held a series of high-level briefings at Westminster for senior government and shadow cabinet MPs. For the advertising community, we've introduced a completely new event this year, the PPA Advertising Awards on October the 11th, where we will be celebrating the power of magazine brands and the best in media planning and buying. In August, PPA Scotland will launch MagFest at the Edinburgh Festival as an international platform to promote the publishing sector and inspire a new generation of writers, editors and designers. And surely you can't have escaped the Cover of the Year category for this year's PPA Awards. A classic celebration of the power and the glory of magazines. Incredibly, within just a week of the first ever public vote being launched, we had had more than 20,000 votes, and the campaign has reached more than 2 million Twitter accounts, thanks in no small part to being retweeted by some of the actual cover stars, including Nigella of Nigella Lawson, Jessie J and Kraftwerk. The winner will be unveiled at the Grosvenor House Hotel on June the 20th, and you all still have time to influence the outcome by voting via the PPA website /cover of the year. For the PPA's business media group, our focus is on aligning the PPA's services to the needs of those members who have evolved rapidly from B2B publishers to global business information providers. In recent weeks, we struck up deals with the Association of Business Media in the US and the Association of Exhibition Organisers in the UK in order to provide joint access to market insight. And our new Digital Publishing Conference and Awards coming up in September will, I am confident, become a regular industry fixture for exploring and celebrating developments in data and digital publishing, an area of paramount importance for our business media members. So that's just a small selection of the PPA's many varied activities over the past few months. And I believe that we can only achieve all of this if we really do come together with a common purpose. It's our breadth that's our strength. Consumer or B2B, digital or print, however we choose to define ourselves in this increasingly fragmented world, we are united by our DNA as professional publishers and by our commitment to producing content of the highest quality, whatever the platform. And for that, as a final but critically important point, we are reliant on the skilled, creative people within our workforce. Today, more than ever, it's vital that we support them as they adapt to this changing market through guidance, mentoring and training. I would therefore just briefly mention an important new initiative that impacts on our skills at the very root of our industry. That initiative is MagAid, and it's a new charity that's been set up by the PPA to promote literacy under the leadership of our independent publishing network chairman, Clive Foskett. It may shock you that 1 in 6 people in the UK has a literacy level below that expected of an 11-year-old. And as a nation, we slipped to joint 23rd in the international literacy rankings, sandwiched between Denmark and Hungary. Admittedly, we all have a vested interest in encouraging a love of reading, whether that's magazine or digital products, but we also surely have a responsibility to tackle this problem. MagAid is your charity, and I would urge you to consider how your company can get involved and generate funds to support the work that we are doing alongside the National Literacy Trust. So for more details, please visit www.magaid.org. In my first few months as your chairman, what I've quickly learned is that the effectiveness of the trade association correlates directly with the energy, enthusiasm and commitment of its members. I said earlier, it's all about more, and that's certainly true here. Put simply, with more, we can do more, we can achieve more, and we can win. As the PPA moves into its centenary year next year in 2013, I'm determined that we're going to be ever more effective, and I would urge you to get involved with the association however you can. Be a part of this stage in our history and help us to shape your future. Thank you very much. Have a fantastic day, and could you please welcome the Chief Executive of the PPA, Mr. Barry McElhenney.